I mean, we will find a way to label everything as an excuse to one simple problem that we have. Like, people will lay in bed all day staring at their screen or have zero motivation to do anything. They can't find anything productive to do with their life, right? And they'll chalk to things that can be very valid, like a form of ailment. Like, I'm going through a moment of sadness right now. I'm dealing with emotional or mental unease at the moment. And these are very valid things, as I said. But what I find interesting is that we never ask the question, well, if you didn't have this ailment, right, that thing that you are saying is holding you back, would you be certain that you would find purpose to your life or the motivation? We always think there's gold at the end, right? If I didn't have ABC, then I would have XYZ. But how many times we thought about that, but then we never got XYZ? Like, we didn't have ABC, and then we turned out like, I have this interpretation about how life is essentially designed to be a constant cycle of heartbreak. Not romantic. Well, it could be, but disappointment is heartbreaking to your very being. I think this effect causes those who remain heartbroken, they will never find purpose in their life. As a result, they will sit there and do nothing all day, or they have no motivation to do anything for themselves. It's not laziness. And I don't think this makes someone more or less important as a person. But the thing is, if you're doing nothing, then obviously you don't contribute to society. And if you don't contribute, as a result, you can't expect to get rewarded. It's like a tribe mentality. The ones who find abundance in their tribe or life are usually the ones contributing the most, the hunters, the gatherers, and so forth. Society is built on a concept where your intrinsic human worth is based on your societal utilities. If you bring no utility to society because you literally don't do anything, you can't be mad you don't get what you want in life. You can't be mad you sitting there and you can't find motivation. But this is the paralyzing effect. You may attempt to be a utility in society, right? You're like, all right, I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna start working on this. I'm gonna get this done. I'm gonna lock in, right? And you find inspiration or motivation to do something. And then you experience heartbreak, such as failure, rejection, or people don't talk about this enough, but maybe you're just mediocre at everything or most things you do. But knowing this, it breaks your heart. So you retreat, you shelter yourself. You enter this protective bubble where you lose your motivation, you lose your purpose. You sit in bed. You thought you knew what you wanted to do, right? You didn't do anything because this is your time to heal from the heartbreak. Disappointment in yourself or society, this happens so much to you that this becomes your base mental state. This is like this is just what you think at like any level at this point. You healed? Well, you're not really healed, but you just like, this is it. This is life. I'm just a constant failure. I'm a constant reject. I'm constantly mediocre. But this is why I asked the question. It's a question of purpose. Even if you didn't have this base mental state or what caused you to have a certain ailment, would you truly know your purpose in life? Actually, the real question, the deeper question is, do you have direction in your life? Maybe you're overanalyzing your heartbreak or your failures because there's a difference between this is painful and difficult, and why is society like this, and why is this so difficult? There's a difference between thinking like that versus this isn't working. I didn't do what I planned. What I planned didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. What should I do next? How do I continue to do this differently, at least? However, I don't think we get to that step once we're paralyzed with heartbreak. It's just, this isn't working. Life isn't working. I don't know what to do. And then you never do anything. Or you just stop asking the question, or what do I do, right? It's just, I'm a failure and everything isn't working. It's like the ultimate procrastination. It's like you're purposely sitting in a waiting room for an appointment, right? But you don't have an appointment today. So you're just in the waiting room. You're just doing nothing. No destination, no appointment, aka no plans. It's just, I'm gonna just sit here and watch everyone else in this doctor's office or whatever go to their appointment, while I sit there watching everyone else get to their things. That's it. Which ultimately goes back to the deeper question. Do I have direction? What is my purpose here? But then you may ask, well, how do I find a purpose to my life? I have no purpose, Aku. And I don't really understand why people ask that question to others, as if someone is going to calculate their destiny for them. Or they announce that, like, I have no purpose in my life. Like, yo, you are the only one who can create the destiny here. You can't expect everything to make sense. That's the problem. If you try to start a business, you will be heartbroken by the amount of mistakes and struggles you go through. If you try to start a family or make friends or date somebody, you will be heartbroken when there's conflict. You might start creating art, drawing, music, writing, anything creative, right? you will be heartbroken by criticism. Purpose, destiny, is simply the thing you will love enough to tolerate the inevitable fact you will experience heartbreak dealing with it. Let's put these questions together. And the last question is how you will find your purpose or destiny, since people keep looking for it, right? If I didn't have this, let's start from the first question, right? If I didn't have this ailment, would I find my purpose? Second, do I have a purpose in life? Do I have a direction in life? And then the last question, which I never proposed yet. What am I willing to do to be heartbroken over? What am I willing to do to be heartbroken over? This isn't a mirror in a sense, or another way of saying what makes me happy. What makes me happy in life? That's my purpose. My happiness. No. What are you willing to do and be consistent with and tolerate because you love it enough to be heartbroken over it? You got to embrace the pain. Not embracing guarantees in your life where you can avoid heartbreak, like laying in bed all day, like avoiding everything, being in a shell. It's easy because it's the path of least heartbreak. So this goes back to the tribe thing I mentioned in the beginning of the video. The path of least heartbreak is a path of doing as little as possible. So therefore, you will get nothing. That includes not finding a purpose to your life because how sad that makes you. That includes not finding any motivation to do anything. But you could label it 20 other things because that's easy too, right? Just call yourself lazy and accept mediocrity. But deep down, be sad and operate at such a low conscious level that you don't realize how miserable and negative this makes you as a person. But again, we could label it 20 other things too. All the, you could, it's easy. It's easy. Yeah, it's just super easy to do. No heartbreak, no purpose, no guarantee, no reward, paralyzed forever. And then you go online talking about you a victim of society and life is hard for you. All right, bro. All right. What am I supposed to do for you at this point? What is anybody supposed to do for you at this point? What are you even supposed to do for yourself? If that's your mentality, you a victim of society, bro. I don't know. You could label yourself 20 other things, and this is why you this and that, and this is why this and that. It's like, all right, that's your identity at this point. That's what you chose. This is what I'm talking about. Why I said you decide the destiny. You chose this because this is what you're presenting as your personality, your identity at this point. You are X, Y, Z. All right, listen, and this is what's crazy too. Some people act like there's some divine, special, miracle, spiritual miracle being, and their grand destiny is going to be revealed one day when they open the curtains and the bright light comes in. And then the path is going to be some grandiose or miraculous or spectacular thing that literally has no resistance or heartbreak. Impossible. And if you think it's not impossible, you know what? You continue to wait for that. Life is filled with duality. Life is literally duality. You are going to experience heartbreak. That's just life, dude. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, I don't know. Like, you just in the waiting room. Heartbreak is tough, obviously, but letting it stop your own ability to move is way worse. But that's my perspective on this. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I love you guys. I'm out.